At the start, definitely the drivers to get a good launch. You can see Butcher at a slight angle there at the second position spot. The lights are going to go up in a moment's time. The first lights are up, the second lights are up. And we are down here at Brands Hatch as we've got a car stalled on the start. Very, very slow. A couple of cars slow off the line. But it is going to be McGregor nice and easy out into the front. Butcher swings to the right-hand side. There's a few cars going side by side. There's a little bit of attack from Tobias Rona to try and squeeze up the inside of Butcher. But Butcher's turned it into an overtake on the outside of Ross McGregor into turn number 1. Butcher's taken the lead straight away. Here comes Tobias Rona around the outside of McGregor, who is getting absolutely swamped at the start. McGregor holds on to it. Down the order, though, it looks like there still side by side. Davey van der Veen has moved up into 8th position. He's now ahead of Craig Patterson. He started 10th. That's a couple of good spots taken at the start. A really good start there. Bram Hengeveld is up to 12th as well, looking up the inside of Orakov for 11th position. The number 27 makes the move into Surtees and gets that to work, but the 51 of Orakov makes the switch back now on the left-hand side as they head up towards Pilgrim's Drop. What a start that's been, and a great job for what is now a race leader, Butcher, as we're going almost 3 abreast down Pilgrim's Drop. They're going to sort themselves out. It is Bram Hengeveld's going to stay ahead. Orakov down another position as Sanchez makes the way through, but what a start to the race. Butcher leads the way to McGregor.
Unbelievable! As Matt Cook makes a move on Menguel, and that is for position 18th down the back. It's just absolutely mental, and Pazzi, who started last, is gained a position and is now in 23rd.
A good start indeed, then. Nice clean start as they all come to finish lap number 1. Krishna Kalili hoping to fill up enough fuel during his pit stop. Flanagan, the man who's been promoted into server number 1 this week, is currently in last position, but that is just the start of the race. Back up towards your front drivers then. Butcher crosses the line to lead the opening lap of the race, but here comes McGregor to look to the outside. There's a little bit of a love tap as he gets back into the line, tries to switch back on the exit as they head up towards Druids. Butcher's going to cut it off. McGregor switches to the left-hand side, but here comes Rona on the outside. The TDR car can't do anything. Matt Legale just trying to, looks like he's just trying to hold back Burke whilst Tobias Rona attacks McGregor. It doesn't look like Legale is going too aggressive on Rona himself. We've got a car off the track in the background. Seems to have sorted themselves out now, though, as they come back on. Patterson defending from Artiega in 9th and 10th position, but Artiega to the inside and up into 9th position.
Butcher's making a move on the inside.
Well, Butcher's already in the lead, you mean? It's going to be...
McGregor, sorry.
McGregor's going to make the move on the outside. You are right, of the exit of Surtees. It's going to be the outside as they come through the Pilgrim's Drop into what I believe is Hawthorne's. A little bit of a love tap again as here comes Rona. You can see Matt Legale just didn't look for any attempts past Rona there, so I think he is just holding up behind.
McGregor takes the move as they go into Westfield Bend.
Oh, there's contact as well. Big contact as McGale gets punted into Rona. Rona punted into Butcher. Look at this. It's going to be Burke. No, Burke is around. He slid it. He's off into the gravel. What a hold, though. He's going to come back onto the track.
So I'm watching him. He's come back up into 12th position. He's just been overtaken, so now he's gone down to 13th, but he hasn't got the momentum, so he might get... No, Whitehead isn't quite going to get past, or is he? As they come down the into Clearways, into Clark Curve. No, so yeah, he's in 13th position, so he's got a bit of work to do now.
It is McGregor leading the way then on the end of lap number 2, and that is to Butcher. But you can see the 2 TDR drivers, they aren't fighting too much. They are definitely working together at the early part of this race, and I think we'll see that until probably the final 10 minutes. And if they're still next to each other then, I think that's when we'll start to see them fighting, but not at the early stages of the race. We're only 4 minutes in. There's no point to teammates fighting.
So the man that set the fastest lap so far is the guy in 5th position, Chris Shepherd, with a 1:45.107. That's the quickest lap we've seen so far.
Shepherd, one of the drivers who was extremely fast, obviously at Imola, battling very hard with Butcher during qualifying. That was. Then they had a race-long fight. Obviously, he was one of the guys in that 7-car train for the lead, of which we have really got a 5-car. Actually, I'd say a 7-car if you count the 2 that have dropped off a little bit. We've got those 5 cars.
Up to Davey, I'd say. Davey van der Veen, I think, is the last kind of car you'd say is in the top. But, you know, even Robin Artiega's not far behind that.
Right, Craig Patterson's lost 1 position since the start, down in 9th position, not doing too bad. But Bram Hengeveld, he deserved that amazing introduction because he's up into the top 10 right now. He said he felt like he had some good pace here, and he is definitely showing that right now.
Well, we shall see, won't we? We shall see.
There's some train of drivers down at the back end of the field as well, but it doesn't look like there's really any overtaking going on just yet.
It goes wide across curve.
And through goes Chris Shepherd.
Shepherd, yeah. Told you, you hit that gravel, you get quite a bit of speed taken off, and you're going to lose positions. I predicted this.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of tyre smoke from Shepherd there into Paddock Hill Bend. So these guys are really pushing. Tobias Rona is all over the back of Butcher, all over the back. Because Shepherd has split, obviously, now the 2 TDR cars.
You're right, he has now come in, Shepherd has come in to split these 2, and we'll see Matt Legale try to now push for that overtake. Rona's going to try and get past Butcher, but you can see they've started to sort themselves out in that front end of the field, and we'll keep an eye on it and see if there's any sort of position changes going on. But right now it's Orokov and Reed who are trying to battle quite a far distance as Reed one's wide on the exit of 30s. Through goes Orokov on the left-hand side. It looks like he's going to be able to make it stick, or will he? Because the 01 machine has picked up a little bit of speed on the exit as he's come back onto the grass. Going to have to stick behind. Two Pilgrims we've got side by side though. Matt Cook on the outside, on the inside of Sergio Menguel. Menguel's going to have to back out of that. Patsy is up to 20th, starting from last, but he slides the car slightly off the track. So is Polgar. They are the 2 teammates actually at Banzai that both ran off the circuit through whatever the name of that course is, Hawthorns. It is Flanagan up to 23rd, so he's made his way past Pirotti at the start of this race as well, as McGregor is starting to pull an easy gap from the rest of the field.
Yeah, last time I looked, he was just under a second, but now it's a second between Butcher and McGregor. Matt Legale lost a bit more time this time around. He went off again, he went wide. I've been watching on board with Garcia, so who's currently in 6th position. So Matt Legale a little bit ragged at the moment.
Tobias Rona is really going aggressive. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Up ahead. Oh, God, I pushed the wrong buttons. There's Tobias Rona coming.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Why would you interrupt me over the same thing I was talking about, Paul?
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's Tobias Rona coming up towards as he's getting under attack here from Shepherd. Shepherd's dived that really well. A little bit of contact with the TDR machine. The 09's on the inside, but the 18 is going to be able to keep the speed up just a little bit better on the exit of 30s. Still Shepherd stuck in this TDR sandwich. He's going to try and get past the second TDR machine as they head down Pilgrim's Drop into Hawthorns now.
This needs some really good lap. Now he's going to lose Ross. Fighting each other is not going to help. They just need to go after Ross.
Indeed, there's actually quite a lot of smoke being kicked up from these drivers. Definitely up towards Paddock Hill, as you mentioned before. As off goes Rona. He gets back on. You can just see there some of the smoke that's getting kicked up as he goes wide again. And here comes Shepherd to the left-hand side. He's going to be on the outside as they come into clearways. And then they will be going through the final turn. He's going to have to back out of it. And through goes Shepherd. Rona tries to get back onto the racing line. Probably going to try and line himself up for an overtake. For most likely into Druids.
Patsy at the back has gone wide and hit into the barrier. He's currently in 24th position.
As Matt Legale goes aggressive to the inside, but backs out of it almost immediately over his teammate. Will they maybe decide to switch over and give Matt Legale a chance at trying to get through these guys? They're going to keep Spires ahead. We will have to see. Are there any team orders in play between the TDR guys? We will have to wait and see. But right now, Shepherd has made his way onto that podium position for now then, as we are 10 minutes into our 40-minute endurance race here.
I'm just watching the battle between 20th and 21st. Halili and Polgar, and Polgar not giving Halili any room whatsoever. Being rather aggressive, I thought, but fair. And there's quite a few drivers bunched up towards the back here. So Eleni hopefully won't run out of fuel this time round. Well, he'll definitely have to pit this race, but hopefully
Hopefully he fills up enough fuel into his car.
Yeah. Flanagan, a very, very pink car. I just noticed it's pretty plain with pink and white stripes. I do like Periotti's livery, I must admit. I do like that.
Oh, the number 77 machine, yeah. That, So almost,
as Orakov has gone wide, so he's lost a couple of places now.
And here comes Lily. Oh, he tried to get up the inside of Polgar, couldn't quite do it in through Dingled out.
It's and just look at the live timing. Ross McGregor's now 1.5 seconds in the lead. So
going back quickly to Perotti's livery before anything else happens, it has to remind you of like
a bathroom.
I was thinking it was
tiling.
Yeah, that's it. For me, it was either a bathroom tiling or one of the hospital TV shows, like the walls that they have in their surgeries. Yeah, and I hate hospitals. Oh, big side by Polgar, out in 20th position as we continue to watch this. It looks like Orakov is also going to try and make a move. He's dived up to 18th position. Here comes Lily. Through he goes. Polgar stuck on the outside because here comes Perotti as well. Can't quite get it on the inside. Polgar going to get back towards the inside of the number 11 machine. There's a car off the track just in front of them. That's going to force the number 11 wide. The number 68 of, who is that? Is that Menguel coming back onto the track?
Yeah.
It's going to be Perotti looking to the inside of Halili now. Tries to get the inside of Polgar as well. Can't quite do it. Backs out. There's a little bit of contact with the number 11, but they're going to get the way through. It's going to be the number 05 in front, 11 behind, 77, the 93 into 22nd, and Sergio Menguel down into 23rd position.
Halili's,
What a fight.
He's having another look now down on the he's gone on the outside now this time round as around the back of the circuit on.
But he's going to go to switch back.
Derek Minter straight.
He is going to get the switch back on the exit. He's going to be on the inside. Polgar's going to be forced slightly wide, but he's kept it within track limits. Really well done there. Lily is going to be under attack from Perotti as well. This is a nice 5-car trade. We're at the back of your field is I can't look at the timings for the front at the guys at the front, but I'm thinking they're probably still just in order as you were before.
You keep an eye on that battle, and I'm going to have a look.
Yeah, it looks like looking at the timings there, it's definitely they are quite far apart from each other at the moment.
Yeah, Garcia and Rona are pretty close together. That's probably about it. Oh, and got a three-way battle here between Artigia and Patterson.
You've got to think the strategy that's being played is going to be a little bit different as well, because we have got that pit stop. You're going to think not everyone's going to be aggressive right now. They might back out and then push at the very end, so we won't see the race-long fights up at the front. But off the track goes Polgar, down at Paget. Here, there's a car around, and a big hit with the wall. Sergio Menguel, a big hit. Is that going to possibly be a retirement? We'll have to wait and see. Polgar stuck on the outside as he comes back on the track at the exit of Paddock Hill, and through Jurots, he sorted themselves out in 21st position now, under attack from the recently promoted Flanagan.
That wasn't Paddock Hill, that was Ruiz.
Yeah, but he came back on at the exit of Paddock Hill and sorted himself out. Right, Menguel is out of the race.
Oh, that's a shame. Retirement.
It is, and that is actually 0 points, which means he's probably going to get demoted for the next race, because it's double points for everyone else. It's still 0 points for a retirement. As Artiega is looking to get past Patterson. Patterson has worked himself back up the order. He's now into 7th. There's contact with Artiega, and he's taken out by the O2 machine. Hengerbell just avoids it. Patterson's going to get back on, and he's not going to be happy with the O2. Are we able to get a replay of that? We are. I'm going to have to fast forward quickly. You keep an eye on that fight whilst we try and get a replay. So what's happened is Artiega was actually in front beforehand. Patterson's recently overtaken him, gone to the inside. Artiega's then... No, 1 minute. No, they both hit the grass. They both hit the grass.
Tobias Rona just trying to make a move as they goes into Druids on Garcia. This is the battle for between 5th and 6th. They're side by side going into Surtees, but Tobias Rona backs up a little bit and slots in behind Garcia. But I think he's done a little bit of a switch back there as they're now coming up towards Surtees now. Apologies. Yeah, and on
Bonus
to
through.
Pilgrim's Drop. So Tobias
Oh,
is
Garcia's off.
Yeah,
The 08's gone around on the entrance of Surtees. He's turned his Huggies machine back facing forwards, but he's now down the order and behind the recently backwards Craig Patterson's. Yeah, just quick highlight of what happened in that fight between Patterson and between Arteaga. Patterson had just got through that right-hander. He's clipped the grass with his rear left tyre, which has made him slide. He was going anyway. He could have possibly held it, but then Arteaga did the exact same thing and started to slide his machine. And with his slide, unfortunately nowhere to go, he's tapped the rear end of Patterson, which meant that Patterson's just gone head-on straight into the wall. So there was nothing that either of them could have really done there. They'd both just clipped the grass, and unfortunately it wasn't an accident, it was an incident.
that is really unfortunate, isn't it?
It really was.
But I mean, you know, Patterson's still in 10th position. It's still decent, but I'd imagine his car's now got a little bit of damage, and
Yeah, the front
that'll
end
be
of,
affecting the performance ever so slightly.
of course, the front end of the car has been bumped in, so that's not going to help him a little bit. That's definitely aero damage more than anything. Not that these cars really have too much speed.
He would have thunk it.
Well,
as he gets the rear edge sliding
Well,
on Paddock Hill bed,
you've got the qualifying results, don't you? What position did Hengeveld start this race in? I swear it was either 16th or 18th. I can't remember which one. 16th. So he's gone up half the grid pretty much. He's climbed half the grid that was in front of him. That is absolutely fantastic. Hengeveld is proving to be quite a contender for probably a top 5 in this championship when all things are said and done.
Hopefully he will not go for the strategy that he was planning, because round 8 and goes for that strategy, I think he'll drop massive amount of time. And talking about strategies, I really want to talk about Tobias Arona, because I was with him when he actually braked to let Matt pass, and I'm thinking, why would you do that unless you're trying to preserve tires? Because at the beginning of the race, he could very easily keep up with the faster guys, but after that he started to slow down a little bit. Also, maybe he's preserving tires and not change tires, and that might hold something back. And also, it looks like Chris Butcher doesn't have the pace to get back to the Ross, because he's caught up by Shepard.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, at the moment, we're talking about the fast guys, and it is 2nd and 3rd position. We've really got to look out, because
they're really close together now,
just through
aren't
that final sector, Shepard was actually nudging Butcher along as he was following him through. So here he goes to the inside for 2nd position. The two guys that were fighting a hell of a lot during round number 1 and race number 1, even qualifying before the season even begun. These two were just fighting each other so hard. And here goes Shepard to the inside line through Druids. Can't quite make it work, unfortunately, but he's still right over the rear end of Butcher. And this could be interesting, because we are coming up to, we're 2 minutes away from halfway through, and we're getting to the sprint part of this race, and we're getting to the part where we're expecting to see at least 3 or 4 drivers come down pits.
He gave a little bump there. I've got the old rear view camera on. I love that view. You just see how close they are as they go down Pilgrim's Drop.
How Shepard, I'll just keep down to undercut Butcher, because it looks like Shepard has a little more pace than Butcher right now.
Right.
Not fighting well.
Shepard goes through into 2nd position then. And will he be able to defend it? He moves into the centre of the track. It looks like he's making it work well, as I'm trying to quickly hunt for the right camera. There you go. The 65 machine is stuck behind then Chris Butcher, behind Shepard. And I don't think this fight is anywhere near over. These two drivers have been close together all season long so far. Will they remain together here at Brands Hatch? We will have to see. But that pit stop is quickly approaching, like I was saying. I think we're going to see at least maybe 5 or 6 drivers come down pit lane when we hit the halfway mark.
And Craig Patterson just made up 2 positions in one corner, passing Arteaga and Brian Hengeveld with 1 go.
Well, number 71 machine is back going again. Really well, actually, with it, as it looks like Sanchez under attack. Garcia on the outside. Garcia recovering from his spin earlier. Will he be able to make the move on the outside of Sanchez as they come up towards the timing line? One of the other drivers we have to point out, after he went off at, where was it? It was the same place that Patterson spun, actually. Burke is up into 6th position. from 13th, which is where he rejoined the track.
Bram Hangerveld's fallen back to 10th position. He was in 8th.
Yeah, he's involved in this fight, though, with Arteaga and Patterson. There is now a three-way fight, and I'm sure he'll be able to get involved as well. But, of course, he was behind Arteaga and Patterson before both of them went off the track.
Yeah, true. And not far behind that, you've got Sanchez, Reed, and Anders Meyer and Whitehead as well. So all pretty close together. There's some nice little groups still as we're... how far are we into this race? We're what?
We're halfway. 20 minutes.
Halfway.
20 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go.
Wow, that's gone incredibly quick.
Mighty quickly indeed, and these drivers are really going to have to think now what's going to come next in the strategy play. Who's going to be the first to jump off of the track and into pit lane? What are they going to be doing down pit lane? Are we going to see tyre changes? How much fuel are we going to see go on board the machines? Right now, Arteaga is under attack for 9th position. Bram Hengeveld trying his hardest to climb up this order. He's been an absolute fire today as Arteaga clips the grass, this time with 2 tyres, which is actually surprisingly easier to hold than when only 1 tyre goes off onto the grass. So he's been able to keep it the right way. The O2 machine, my racing number, running ahead of the... What number is Bram actually? Is that like a 2? I saw a 2. Is that
21.
21 machine.
27.
27, he's in! He's into the pits, and goes Reed as well, as Reed is going to follow him into pit lane as well. We've already got someone else in pit lane. Luca Burke. Luca Burke is also in pit lane. So we've got 3 drivers now down pit lane. Burke was the first to dive. Hengeveld has joined. He is. So is Reed. Reed is up in the air as well.
He's Brent Hengeveld good at
Hengeveld's into the air. We've got to see now how long these pit stops are going to take for these drivers. Flanagan on the outside of Patsy. Patsy looks to the inside. No, Flanagan's going to go slightly wide somehow. He holds it. He doesn't go off the track. How did he manage that? He's also kept it side by side still with Patsy on the exit into Druids.
And Hengeveld is off, and so is Burke and Reed.
1 minute, Hengeveld's jumped completely on Burke. Burke's had a very long pit stop. Is that possibly 4 tyres from Burke and only 2 from Hengeveld?
Yeah, I think
it was.
Four tyres from Burke.
Definitely 2 tyres from Hengeveld, yeah.
Well, there you go. There's different strategies already coming into play. Of course, that was with a conversation with you, Mr. C, wasn't it? You were the one who convinced him to do that. So he come out there. So looking once again at this battle, 19th Patsy has been able to get ahead of Flanagan. Flanagan, just that. Yeah, it's just a plain livery, but it works so well. The number 93 machine. Hengeveld out on track, then 21st position. The leading drivers were those that have pitted. Burke in 22nd, Reed in 23rd. Where is our leader? He is actually coming across the pit lane now. He stays out, so our leaders are going to be out at the front of the field without doing pit stops just yet.
A bit of a battle between Anders Meyer and Jason Whithead.
No, Anders Meyer. Oh, no, you are right. Yeah, you are right. My fault. But he's going to come in anyway.
Yeah.
Jason Whithead stays out. But in comes Sanchez in front of him. In comes Meyer. Is there anyone else in pit lane? No, it's just those 2 now. So Sanchez and Meyer are our next 2. And Meyer in probably one of the best liveries. Not the best. I have to admit, I still love Butcher's the most. But that classic flag design on the car is absolutely awesome, as they're all going to sort them out as they come up towards the timing line. We are coming up to just 15 minutes to go. The question is, where are those drivers going to come out in relation to other drivers who have done their pit stops? Because that's when we can really start to see what drivers are doing.
I might have pronounced that. Thank you very much for subscribing. We're going to have a competition in about 10 minutes as well, so keep your ears peeled. And we'll do a little bit of competition for you.
Butcher and Shepard are fighting, and oh my god, they're touching really bad.
Oh, they are. Yeah. Butcher's on the right-hand side. Shepard's going to be on the left. So Butcher's back into 2nd position now. Shepard's going to be all over the rear, though. Will one of them decide to have enough of this battle for now and go into the pit lane? We'll have to see as they come through up towards the final turn. The 09 is all over the rear. This is absolutely great as we ride on board the rear wheel arch of Chris Butcher, one of the best camera angles on board the Mini.
Oh yeah, for sure. I use it loads of times watching Somebody's close by.
Oh, Shepherd's going to go side by side with Butcher as they come up towards the timing line. Butcher is going to be stuck on the outside as they head up towards Paddock Hill. They're trying to squeeze each other out and get to the centre of the circuit as best as they can. Who's going to be come out ahead? There's going to be contact. Shepherd's pushed Butcher onto the gravel ever so slightly, and through goes Shepherd into P number 2. Butcher down to P3.
Oh boy, Butcher's not gonna be happy with that.
Well, I thought. I don't know.
I think that was pretty good racing between the two of them. It is contact that will happen.
Especially the fact that Shepherd went on the inside and hit the curb, and the car, that can really disable the car. So that, on the grand scheme of things, that wasn't terrible. But they're really not trying to give each other any room, were they?
Not at all.
Butcher doesn't know that Shepherd hit the inside, so.
That's true, but at the same time, you've got to think, he might be a little bit frustrated that he's now lost second position, but at the same time, Rubbing is racing in these minis, and you can definitely tell that was just a tap. The reason he's lost so much time is because he hit the gravel, but at the end of the day, they were side by side. Butcher knew fully well that Shepherd was on his inside, and yet he still tried to close that door way more than he should have done with the car being on his inside. There was absolutely no room whatsoever. So I think, looking at that, there would be no argument from Butcher. I think maybe yes, he'll be a little bit annoyed right now, but looking back at it, he'll say, actually, I could have left some more room for Shepherd as they are coming up towards the final turn. Right now, are either of them going to go down into pit lane? Is McGregor going to go down into pit lane? No, McGregor stays out. So does second and third position. Fourth position stays out. Fifth position stays out. It doesn't look like any of the top guys are going to come down pit lane just yet. Davy van der Veen is the man in sixth position.
Yeah, and also just to point out on the live timing, it's not showing who's pitted, so that's no good for us right now. So we're trying keep an eye on visually who's going into the pit, which is not easy. But like you say, none of the top guys yet have pitted, and I wonder whether.
1 minute, Bram Hengeveld.
Yeah, I just looked at that. Luca Burke is in front of Bram, and Bram has
Bram Heng is all the way down in 22nd position, way behind Luca Burke, who he was ahead. So is that maybe he's come down pit lane again? Maybe a penalty for speeding in pit lane, possibly?
Or maybe he did that mistake. That he told me that he only changes 2 tires, he might spin off. So
yeah, true. He is way back, isn't he?
Massively back.
20 seconds.
There doesn't look like there's any damage on the car as well, so I'm thinking possibly he's come down pit lane again. Whether that was because maybe he didn't fill up enough fuel and now he's realised that, or whether it has been a penalty. I don't think that's been a mistake or a big hit with anyone or anything. I think that is actually him coming down pit lane again. That's what that gap looks like.
12.5 minutes remaining. This race is going very quick. As I'm watching the battle between Lucas Burke and Anders Meyer for 19th position.
I'm currently looking at the 4-car battle that's going on between Cook down to Perotti. Sort of separate themselves up actually since we last looked. They were all running different driving lines out through Pilgrim's Drop, but McGregor comes across the line again out in the lead. We're heading up towards the final 10 minutes of this race. This has just been flying by as we're waiting for the remaining drivers to do their pit stops.
Drive to penalty for Alexander Orekov.
Just going to say Butcher's all over the rear end of Shepherd again as they head up into Druids. Butcher is looking aggressive. He is really looking aggressive, and I think he is going to go. You've also got to think, actually, that contact between the two of them, what tyre wear are they sitting on right now? Bearing in mind they've run half an hour on a front-wheel drive around Brands Hatch. You've got to think the tyre wear must be extremely high, so that's not going to help them run side-by-side into Paddock Hill either. So the whole scheme of things, yes, Butcher's going to be aggressive now because of it, but at the same time, really, it was just another racing incident. We've not had an accident so far this season that has been one driver's fault.
It must be infuriating being Matt Nagale because you're in 4th position. You can see the guys battling up ahead, and you'd be thinking if they're battling, it's actually slowing them down, allowing him to catch up, and the same for his teammate Tobias Rona, who's currently in 5th. But that's not happening right now. Not only are they battling hard, Butcher and Shepherd, but they're not really allowing anybody else to come into play because they're keeping the pace up.
Same time, you've got to think, Are they now thinking about a strategy in pit lane, a quick stop somehow that might be a little bit quicker than these guys ahead? So not maybe jump them, because 3 seconds in a pit lane can be tricky to jump, but close that gap so that he's actually involved within the fight on the exit of the pits. We'll have to see when they come down pit lane. Currently, they are still out with 10 minutes on the clock.
Do you think they'll both follow McGregor, or do you think they'll try and get one more lap in and then come in, or do you think they'll just come in at the same time?
I don't think they're following McGregor, because McGregor's, I think, unless he makes a mistake, he's won this one. He's not involved in this fight really anymore. They're not involved in that fight. I think really it's the drivers behind is either going to follow the guy in front, so Shepherd right now, Butcher's going to follow Shepherd, or Butcher's going to say, actually, I'm going to try and get the jump on him here, pit now, get a fast out lap, and just try and get ahead of him through the pit lane instead of on track. So really, it's going to be Butcher's decision whether he comes in at the same time as Shepherd or after. Or before, sorry. Or
Garcia
after,
and RTA are like battling, inter-team battle for 8th place.
You're right, it is Garcia and Arteaga. They're nice and close together as well. We've got, yeah, I think that's really the drivers have started to separate themselves up with the pit stops. Must say, Flanagan's doing a good job in 16th. I don't think he's come down pit lane yet, but he's doing a good job nonetheless. Only one retirement then, Sergio Menguel. Our only retirement so far this entire race, and that's great to see, and that's exactly what we like to see.
Okay, so I mentioned competition time. If you'd like to win a copy of Auto Rebelista with all DLC, make sure you are following our Twitch channel and answer the question that I'm about to give you in the next couple of minutes. And the first one to do so will win a copy of the game.
Well, the first one to answer it correctly.
Correctly, yeah.
Right then, is Shepherd or Butcher going to come down pit lane? Nope, they're still both out. They're continuing on. Are they going to run until the end of their fuel? That's going to be the question. When is the end of the fuel going to be? Who's going to risk it going a little bit more? You've got to think the Butcher can be saving a little bit of fuel actually behind Shepherd right now. Tries the outside, so that looks like he's actually going to go for the switchback. A wide entrance to a tight exit. Can't do it because here goes Shepherd. Very defensive. Butcher switched to the outside though. They're side by side. He turns in. It's going to be Shepherd on the inside line. Butcher's on the outside. That's going to turn to the inside line. Look how little room Shepherd is leaving Butcher. But Butcher is through. Shepherd drops behind. He's going to try the switch back on the exit, going up towards Surtees. Here they go. A little bit of a tap as they come through, and it is going to be Shepherd remaining ahead. But what a great attempt by Butcher. Couldn't quite make it work. He's going to get the slipstream. Will he try anything down Pilgrim's Drop?
He is,
but Shepherd's going defensive. Shepherd is going defensive, and here comes Butcher on the outside line. Shepherd now tries to squeeze the outside, but he leaves just enough room for Butcher to keep it on. That's great driving by both of them. Great driving for Butcher on the outside of Hawthorns. He's going to try and brake later, but Shepherd's got the inside. He's still there, but no, Shepherd's back in a second. Here goes Butcher to try and get to the inside. Can't quite do it. This isn't really the best of overtaking locations. He drops in behind, and he remains behind for now. Absolutely great battling between the two of them as they come through around up towards final turn. This is absolutely great fighting. As here comes Butcher again to try the outside. I do apologise for talking over you a couple of times through that. So much action going on between the two drivers as everyone else seems to have... We've always seen that pit stops either create fights or open them up, and we're definitely seeing them open up.
I mean, they're going to have to pit, aren't they? They're going to have to, right?
The fuel won't let them make it all the way to the end. Surely that's what we were told by Bram. That's what Mr. C believes as well, is it not? But here comes Butcher once again on Shepherd. Shepherd goes defensive. No, Shepherd's going to remain ahead for now. So Mr. C, just double checking with the fuel loads. We definitely will have to do a pit stop, right?
Well, not the last time when I raced, yes, definitely. But now, like 5 minutes ago, they still didn't pit. Oh my God, I don't know.
Right there we go. That's what we've got from our, the guy who's full of knowledge, knows so much better than myself and Paul. But up towards Surtees, and there was a bit of contact, actually, between Shepherd and Butcher, but they're still going on, riding on board the rear end of Shepherd then, on that rear wheel arch, the best camera view in the entire game. Here we go, down Hawthorns, Shepherd goes to the outside again. They are side by side. Sorry, Butcher goes to the outside again. Shepherd goes defensive. Tries to do it. Backs out of it this time. Switches to the left-hand side of the track. Goes back to the right on the outside. Backs out of it. Looks for the better exit. He's still there ever so slightly. So close right now. We've just got a screen full of Butcher as they head through. He's on the outside line. A little bit of a lump tap. Butcher slides. He holds it. Butcher holds it. Oh, my word.
He's allowing McNagale to catch up with these two now. That battle, the gap is closing between Butcher and McNagale. So, oh God, this is. I thought that was Butcher's race over.
I really did. That must have been hand in the mouth moment for Butcher, and there must have been some expletives.
Before this race finishes, if you are, make sure you're following the channel. But the question for you, ladies and gentlemen, and the first to answer in the chat and get it right. Who was the winner of the first race at round 1 last Saturday? Who was the winner of the race number 1 at the previous round? And whoever gets that first will win a code for Ballista and all DLC with it.
May I just say, I don't even know the answer to that one. But here we go, through we go. And towards, we've got an answer in the chat already. Is that one right, Paul?
I don't know.
How do you not know? But you'll know, Mr. C. You know everything. Who won the first race?
It's Butcher.
It was Butcher,
Yeah,
right
I thought
then.
it was. Yeah,
2 o'clock. We will be contacting you at the end of the stream. Very well done.
Yeah, congratulations, Mr. Timo Glock.
You asked a question that even we didn't know.
No, I thought it was Butcher. I just had a moment.
I didn't think it was Butcher because Butcher qualified pole, and I didn't think he actually went on to win the race. Right. Oh, yeah, because he went from 3rd to 1st on the last lap, didn't he? Yeah. Right. Anyway, watching this once more. 3 minutes. Yeah, do you know what? We were all saying pit stops, they definitely need to pit for fuel. They definitely need to pit for fuel. Do they definitely need to pit for fuel?
3.5 minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, I'm questioning.
Well,
I'm questioning your facts here.
No, to be fair, this could be a splash and dash moment if they will. We've got in chat.
People are saying in the chat
they won't.
They won't need to pit, but yeah.
But it's going to be. What are you doing, Mr. C? You're supposed to know this stuff. You came here to tell us the right information. Yeah,
I'm telling the right information from when I was racing. I'm old now.
You are right, though. McNagale is trying absolutely his hardest to catch up. He sees the 2 cars fighting again as Butcher locks up going into turn number 1. We're just riding on board with McNagale. Shepherd once wide. Butcher gets to the inside. They're side by side. A little bit of contact. This is a great view from on board McNagale. You can see this fight right in front of him. Is this going to be Butcher on the outside? Shepherd holds it on the inside. Butcher breaks early to go to switch back. Shepherd goes defensive. Butcher on the right-hand side. Here comes McNagale. McNagale is going to push Butcher on the outside into 13. Shepherd's got the inside, gonna make it work, but once again the switch back from Butcher. Shepherd goes defensive, Butcher runs off the track, and here comes McNagale. Through he goes. McNagale's got some good speed. McNagale's on the outside of Shepherd as well. They're side by side. Shepherd's gonna go the inside line. McNagale, can he get 2nd position here? He's tried on the outside, can't quite do it. Butcher is going to try his hardest to get back involved in this fight. McNagale on the outside line, a little bit of contact. Shepherd remains into P number 2.
Tobias Rona not now also closing up in the last 2 minutes of this race. I mean, we've got a 3-way battle here between Shepherd, McNagale and Butcher as they all go through Sheens. And now they're going to Sterling.
You've got a track map up finally, haven't you?
Huh?
You finally got a track map up, haven't you?
I had one. I've had one all this time.
Nice.
As McNagale looks on the outside of Butcher.
Oh, there's contact!
This is why Joseph does the commentary and I just talk here and there.
So Butcher bounced into the back of Legale. Legale bounced into the back of Shepherd, but you are right. I keep on getting Butcher and Shepherd mixed up as well. You're not the only one. They're always together on track. You can never tell them apart. But they go into Paddock Hill, and Rona is trying his hardest to get the 2nd TDR machine back involved in this fight as well. We're into the final minute of racing as we're fighting for P number 2.
I'll keep an eye on the race leader. If you keep an eye on that battle, we can cut to him for cross the line when he comes to the.
We'll see how many laps are still remaining. Once that time at the top turns into laps completed, we'll have a little bit of a look. But right now, it is going to sort themselves out in line. The 09 ahead of That is Matt Legale in the 91. Then it's the 65 machine. And then it's the 18 machine. It's Tobias Rona trying to get involved as well. I don't think he will be able to with just 30 seconds left on the clock. But he's absolutely great. Butcher is going to try his goddamn hardest to get back onto the podium here. Matt Legale is going to try his hardest to get second. Shepherd is going to try his hardest to defend because he could lose the podium with just one small mistake. He holds on at the front at the moment as they run all in a line. Butcher all over the rear end of Matt Legale right now. Riding on board the wheel arch of Shepherd. We're looking back at the number 91 machine. Here comes Legale, a much faster exit. Can't really do anything at the moment. He cuts the corner ever so slightly, trying to find as much speed as he possibly can. The timer has come to a close as Butcher's going to go onto the final lap. As McGregor's going to go onto the final lap of the race. Here goes Legale on the outside line. Once again, can't quite do it. A little bit of contact. McGregor goes on to the 24th and final lap of the race here at Brands Hatch for round number 2, race number 3 of the season. McGregor is going to take the lead keep the lead in the championship. His first win of the season, but right now it's his fight. It's going to be 3 wide almost into Paddock Hill. Shepherd leads the way. It's going to be 3 wide on the exit. Tobias Rona, will he make it 4 wide? He's going to try. He can't quite do it. Butcher's into second. Into Tobias Rona. What on earth is Shepherd doing?
God.
Oh, my
Shepherd.
God. This is what is going on there. 4 wide on the exit. But Shepherd.
Has 4 wheels off the track.
No, Shepherd is completely in the wrong. He's cut the course to Kane. All 3 positions there. Shepherd, that was an 3 illegal overtakes, but he's in second position. Butcher in third. Legale on the outside to take that position. Rona is definitely in this fight now. McGregor has definitely got the win. But look at this. Butcher's going to go into attack. Oh, my God. Legale touches Butcher. Shepherd is going to be on the outside. On the inside, Butcher's gone to the outside line. Matt Legale going to try and hold the inside line. Here goes Butcher on the outside. He's got the speed on Shepherd. Shepherd doesn't have it. There's contact, a little bit of a slide. They're all going to be aggressive after Shepherd's move, I'm sure. Here they go. It's going to be Shepherd ahead still. Is McGregor going to come across the line to win?
Yeah,
Who is going to get second?
Currently,
oh, big slide from Tobias. Sorry, from Matt Legale ahead of Tobias Rona. Sorry to interrupt you there. I would love to talk about McGregor.
As, McGregor's now coming around the last corner to finish the race in first position and get the race win.
And second position looks like it's going to be given to Chris Shepherd if he can defend it. But can he? Because Chris Butcher's got the outside line. Chris Butcher.
Oh my God!
No, we've got someone in pit lane.
Tobias Rona's gone into the pits.
Ah, but it's going to be Shepherd. It's going to be Shepherd in second. It's going to be Butcher third. Legale fourth. Van der Veen to take 5th position.
Unbelievable result for Davy Van der Veen there.
Right, we are going to have a look quickly whilst the race is coming to a close.
He started 10th there, Davy Van der Veen, so yeah, great result.
We're going to have to ride on board just quickly for Shepherd's move.
I was looking at it overhead. He completely cut the corner.
So he's gone. We're riding on board now. We can just see he cuts in onto the grass and takes all the positions away from them. What a naughty, naughty boy. I'm sure there'll be a steward's inquiry into that one at the end. As the drivers are all coming across the line, let's talk you through the race results then. McGregor, Shepherd, Butcher, Legale, Van der Veen, Arteaga, Patterson in 7th in the end. Really good to recover from his. Whitehead, Cook and Perotti ran out your top 10. 11th position was Alves, then came Polgar. Rona down in 13th in the end. Flanagan in 14th. Patsy, Burke. Issues all around for him in 16th. Murr in 17th. Then it came Halili, Reed. Garcia, I don't know what happened to him, but he just didn't have the race pace. Hengeveld, unfortunately, not recovering in that from the pit stop, whatever happened after his pit stop. Finishing in 21st position. 22nd position was to Sanchez, Orokov, and Menguel, our only retirements. But what a race.
Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I can't see Shepherd keeping second position. I'm sure that'll go to the stewards. But yeah, I mean, Ross McGregor, doing Michael Schumacher-esque result and keeping clear of second, third, fourth, and fifth there, and Yeah, I was quite surprised. I don't. Yeah, and it looks like that. Anders Meyer, had to pit there at the last moment. Was it Anders? No, it wasn't. Was it? Yes. No, Tobias Rhoda. Sorry,
Tobias Rhoda.
Finished 13th position because of that. So.
He had a drive-through penalty because of the racing for the previous lap.
Right. Okay. So yeah, real shame for him, but nevertheless,
what a race!
A great event. And just Timo Glock, I've sent you a whisper on Twitch. If you can please reply to that, if you're listening still, that'd be great.
And what a race that has been then for round number 2. Of course, the endurance race means that it's been double points for our drivers. Ross McGregor was already leading the championship going into the event. That's just extended his lead. And what's really helped out now is the fact that we could be on our way, it's definitely looking that way, to our first ever repeat champion in the Mini Challenge Series.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That'd be absolutely amazing.
Very possibly back to back.
I'm really sorry, but I have to get moving. So
that's absolutely fine. It's all right. That was absolutely fantastic event. Well done to all the drivers, actually.
And yes, Timo Glock, if you can get back to me on Twitch, that'd be great.
So well done to all of our drivers that took part in the race, both of the races, of course, division number 2 as well. Hopefully, we'll see a few new drivers in race in the division number 1 next week, because we will have obviously those drivers, 2 drivers that retired on this race will be getting 0 points, and that will really drop you down, bearing in mind the double point system that's in place. So that could drop a few people out of the top split next week and bring in a few new ones. We're going to be going to Spielberg, if I'm not mistaken, next week. I probably am mistaken, aren't I?
I would tell you, but I closed on my browser.
Yeah, Red Bull Ring, Spielberg. We are going to be going there next week for the 2 races. That's another double sprint race with the reverse grid. And we've always seen, well, with that first race that we saw great double race feature, definitely race number 1. And I think it's going to be another great race to have next week as well. So this is fantastic. But it is going to be Ross McGregor who's going to continue his lead up at the top, and his first win of the new season as well. Absolutely great, as we have a Tobias Rona joining us here. Tobias, actually, that is a very good point. What happened at the end there for you?
Well, I think I got my final warning a couple laps before, and I was pushed wide at the place where the game detects your cuts, so I got the penalty at the end.
Most unfortunate. Most unfortunate.
But what a great fight that was, though. You were sitting down in 6th position, most of that fight. No wonder it was at 5th. It was 5th, wasn't it? 5th position, most of that race that was going on, with the fight going on ahead. You saw, obviously, your teammate in front of you trying to catch up. And then within that last couple of laps, you were right inside the fighting. And that last lap in itself, Druids, what happened?
All right, so I got a run. But one of the Chris's was sort of blocking my path, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna just bump him up a little bit, so maybe like Maddie or me have a chance to jump, go on the inside. Didn't really work out so well for either of us, but it was an attempt, I would say.
But it was a great attempt, and I must say that it was a fantastic fight for the end. We do have a little bit of a wonder for you. You said that one of the Chris's was blocking your path. The other Chris decided to jump onto the grass on the inside of Druids and overtake all 3 of you in that one turn. So maybe that's something to look into, but that whole fight in itself, it was a shame that you were obviously dropped out right at the end and you finished down in 13th position. But are you looking forward to the rest of the season then?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think we are Maddie and me. We are looking on the pace. I got a bit unlucky with the reverse grid and the penalties, so I think I just give him a bit of a helping hand for the last couple of races. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely great then. Absolutely fantastic. Second round of the championship for the 3rd race. Every single race has just been full of fantastic battles, and we don't expect to see anything less for the rest of the season. So thank you to Paul Glover, who's already popped off, for joining me today. Also, thank you to Mr. C for giving us all those wonderful facts. Thank you to Mr. C. And thank you to all of those who joined watching the broadcast over on Twitch and took part as well. And well done also to Timo Glock, who won a copy of Automobilista and all of the DLCs. Thank you all, and we will see you next week for round number 3 from the Red Bull Ring. Thank you very much.